Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Trogdor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are in week 2 of the PTL, and this is a team builder for such. Our opponent is Gremlin and the Southend Stoutlands, and this, of course, is a team builder for that. If I mentioned that already, I probably did. This is a team builder. There's 3 times. So my opponent has a pretty interesting team. I'm going to go over that in just a little bit. There are lots of threats, of course, and we want to win, but it's like our team is also pretty stacked against my opponent's team, which consists of Mega Latios. That is like an insane powerhouse. If it sets up a Calm Mind or a Dragon Dance for most teams, that's good game. So that's definitely a thing to watch out for. Necrozma, of course, can do so many things. It's got a great bulky set. It's got like Moonlight, Stealth Rocks, Rock Polish, just so many different moves that it has and so many different things that it can run. It's a very like viable setup mod, so it's like, that's 2 setup mods back to back. Mamoswine is insanely good. Rock Ice, or not rock, ground ice typing is an incredible dual stab. There's so few switch-ins for it, and it just like wrecks shop given the right opportunity. So definitely something else to look out for. Shaman is a really good bulky grass type, which, base 100 stats across the board, nothing to laugh at, and it's got a really good move in Seed Flare. Can run a fantastic sub-seed set, and it's just like, nothing to sleep on. Can be offensive, but it usually likes to be bulky in some regard. Buzzwole, which is, an Ultra Beast that is really powerful, but also very defensive. So it can run a very good bulk up set. It can run like, a Choice Scarf set, Assault Vest, Life Orb. Very offensive, but it's like, if it's defensive, that's something to look out for. It can tank a lot of like really, really powerful hits. Primarina is its choice spec set is insanely good. Like choice specs Surf from Primarina has so few switch-ins. It's so tough to switch into, and Primarina is also pretty bulky with a really fantastic typing in Water Fairy. So definitely these top 6 are all pretty solid in my opinion, and really tough team to build for right away. Stakataka, another Ultra Beast with like infinity defense and like negative speed. So Stakataka, of course, has a couple 4x weaknesses though, so it's pretty exploitable. It's most viable in Trick Room with like a Gyro Ball set and Curse Trick Room Gyro Ball, but it's a powerhouse. It can run some really good Beast Boost sets. Tornadus Incarnate is a great prankster user. It's got some good offensive stats and a really great move pool. Not quite as powerful as its Therian counterpart by any means, but still a threat nonetheless. Tailwind is kind of a good prankster move to have, of course. Slurpuff, it has a very good belly drum set, but its coverage is next to nothing, and otherwise it gets webs. It's kind of there. It's another fairy type, so a little bit extraneous on his team. Gligar is a pretty bulky Pokemon when you consider that it can use Eviolite. The ground flying typing is not the best, and when it can't run like any Yachi Berry or leftovers because you're most likely running Eviolite, it's got some exploitability in it. And then Palpitoad is just a meme, which he's not bringing this. It's just kind of like, whatever, that's funny, ha ha ha. Okay, so that's my opponent's team. There are obviously a lot of threats. It looks a little bit top heavy when you've got threats like Latios, Mamoswine, Buzzwole, and then things like, Gligar, Slurpuff, Palpitoad. So, but I'm not going to discount anything completely, but I'm going to prep much heavily for like those top 7. I think any 6 of those 7 and maybe Tornadus could show up. Like, it's possible he won't bring both Ultra Beasts or like Necrozma, Latias, but dual Psychics. That my team loves dual Psychics, and you'll see because I am starting out with Weavile, Edgelord, Evanescence, the Weavile. So I'm actually running an Expert Belt set. I don't like running Life Orb just because otherwise Weavile gets worn down way too easily, and all the moves that I have hit something super effectively, except like Primarina, because Ice Punch Knockoff hit the Latios really, really hard. Ice Punch harder, of course, because Knockoff I don't get the boost because of the Mega Orb. Necrozma, Knockoff does a huge chunk of damage. Unless it's like physically defensive with Colbur Berry, that's doing like 30%, but otherwise it can Oko after, well, it can't, I don't know if it can Oko from full, but it certainly does after a little bit of chip damage. Low Kick bops the Mamoswine. Like, Low Kick, Mamoswine, you're gone. In a couple Mouth battles I did that, and they're like, oh. And it's like, yeah, it's insanely good. Shaman just dies to, my stab, but I also have Aerial Ace, which, is there mainly for Buzzwole, because if it's like physically defensive, it can only take 2 of these, but most of the time it's like it just bops a Buzzwole, especially if it's like AV. Well, if it's AV, it's got a little bit of bulk, but if it doesn't KO, I'm not staying in. Of course, I've switched into Buzzwole, and then Low Kick for the stack attack is just it's gone. I don't have any priority, but that's okay. I'm faster than most things, so I'm not too worried about. So next up I have Princess Consuela, the Cresselia, which it's running a fully physically defensive set. This is mostly a switch into things like Mamoswine, to Buzzwole, to Stack Attacka. Well, it doesn't switch into Stack Attacka the best. Also Dragon Dance Latios. Sub Calm Mind, if I can get up a sub safely and start Calm Minding, it very well may be GG. It's going to be tough to get up a sub. Mostly I'm going to be like tanking hits and like going for Psychic because it's such a good move versus his team. His Dark type doesn't exist, so Cresselia can just like fire off Psychics, and if I get up a Calm Mind behind a sub, it's like, oh, you have no immunities to this, and I've also got Moonblast for coverage right there. So Cresselia, it's mostly going to be tanking stuff, but if it can start getting up Calm Minds, I would be super happy because that would be really great. Next up is Yami Yugi, the Cofagrigus. So I've got another Bulkymon, running some mixed bulk just because I want it to be spit def, but also be able to live a few hits. These EVs are there for a reason. The Mummy ability is really great, especially if I'm switching into like Buzzwole's Leech Life, then it can't get his Beast Boost. Likewise with the Stack Attacka, and Necrozma won't be hitting me physically, but I've got Pain Split, Shadow Ball, HP Fighting, and Toxic. I'm still kind of iffy about Cofagrigus' moveset. Like, the combo of Pain Split and Toxic is not the greatest in the world. Shadow Ball, hits most things, especially the Latios and Necrozma. HP Fighting is just there for the Stack Attacka. I don't want it to set up on me at all. Like, I don't want it to get up a Trick Room and think that it's like, haha. But this will 2-hit KO it. And then, yeah, he's got no resist to Shadow Ball on this team, so I low-key want to go for a Nasty Plot, but at the same time it's like I don't want my walls to rely on setting up to do well. But yeah, Cofagrigus is just a great mon this game because it switches into so many things, and he's got no resist for my Shadow Ball. So next up is Azumarill Mega Dio, which is basically Mamoswine insurance. Like, if Mamoswine kills something, which it probably will, it's that good and it's so tough to switch into. I've got Banded Aquajet, and Banded Aquajet is just good in general, especially like against Tornadus, which is fast. Play Rough, Knockoff, Superpower are really good coverage for his team. Like, his best switch is probably Shaman, and that doesn't want to take a Banded Play Rough at all. Buzzwole does not want to take a Banded Play Rough. Necrozma, Latios do not want to take a Knockoff, and Superpower Bop Stack Attacka. Like, I need moves on everything that bop that Stack Attacka, because it's just there, and I don't want it to be there. So if Stack Attacka shows up and it's not on the field, it's like, I don't want it to be there anymore. That's mostly true for everything, but especially Stack Attacka, which I'm most worried about the Necrozma more than anything, but it's like, I gotta make sure that I can bop everything. So next up is Rotom Heat, the Rotom Yeet. No, it's Rotom Yeet, the Rotom Heat. Will-O-Wisp, Volt Switch, Overheat, and Shadow Ball. I'm running Choice Scarf. So the idea is I lead with this Pokemon. If he's got Mamoswine, I'm probably going to click Will-O-Wisp first thing. because my Volt Switch is just, you know, really obvious as a lead. It's very helpful for the likes of his Primarina, especially. I need to hit it with Volt Switch and just do a ton of damage, because Prim's got, you know, otherwise no switch-ins. I obviously can't switch in because Surf is just gonna like bop me and overheat. Also, it's like his best answer for that is Primarina, which isn't switching into an overheat at all. I can hit Necrozma and Latios with Shadow Ball, and it's just overall going to be doing some really fast momentum grabbing type things for me, and it's actually really great. This matchup, he has not a lot for it. I don't want to do a Trick Choice Scarf just because, or I could do Trick Specs, but then I'm a little bit slower, and I want to make sure that I outspeed the likes of Latios, of course. Although it can't hit me that hard, I'm pretty comfortable in the Scarf Will-O-Wisp set. And lastly on this team is my Metal Scepter, the Steelix. So I've got Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Rocks, and Roar. So I originally wanted to have Haze on Cofagrigus, but all of his setup mons, Cofagrigus would rather just like attack them and not take too many turns to Haze and stuff. So I need some phasing, and that's Roar on Steelix, which can switch in comfortably to the likes of most of his setup mons, not Buzzwole so much. But it's like I can get rid of Necrozma, I can get rid of Latios, I can roar out Stack Attacka, the likes of all of that. I'm going to be a little bit tanky. I don't need to be brave, I could just be adamant. But it's hitting hard. Like, Steelix has a higher base attack than Weavile. That's a little bit ridiculous. And even with minimal investment, like, it's almost the same attack stat as, like, the same number as Weavile. Heavy Slam and Earthquake just do a ton of damage to everything. His best answer for that is like Shaman, and it's like, okay, that's cute. That's really cute. So it's just going to be a great tank this game. I'm realizing that my team doesn't have a lot of recovery outside Pain Split. I might want to put Moonlight over Moonblast on Cresselia here. I mean, it hits like what? Buzzwole Moonblast? It hits Psychic hits so many things. I think Moonlight will be better, especially if I'm going to be doing Subcalm Mind and I need to get some recovery back. So yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Steelix, yeah, it's just going to be a tank. So that's the team. Battle will be going up tomorrow, and I haven't played just yet. I'm going to be playing later this morning at the time of me recording this. So yeah, if you are enjoying this season so far, toss a like and subscribe for more. As always, leave a comment down below, but keep in mind that the game has already been played at the time of this upload. So yeah, take care everyone. Bye bye.